Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Okay, lumabas na ang initial guidelines for the upcoming caregiver program or pilot programs here in Canada. Mag-o-open po yan sa March 31. O sige, wala nang paligoy-ligo pa. Puntahan na natin nga ang ating kakausapin tungkol dito. Si Miss G or si Miss Geraldine Vallarail, lagi ako nagkakamali, Vallarail ng GHV Immigration, based dyan po sa Edmonton, but they also have an office in Manila, in Cavite to be specific. Ayan. Hi Miss G, and thank you again. Biglaan itong pag-set ko ng schedule kay Miss G dahil syempre hindi rin namin alam, nalalabas na pala today yung initial guidelines for the caregiver program. Okay, I will put it up first. What is posted sa government website. Naku, Miss G, nagulat ka ba? Biglang lumabas today. Teka, hindi ko pala na-ready.
Yes, nasa bahay pa ako kanina. Sabi ko, naglabasan na yung mga update. It's a day.
Yeah, it is. Ang dami na nga daw, sabi ni Miss Gino, ang dami na agad nagtatawag sa kanya to, I guess, clarify itong bagong rules. Because there are things here, Miss Gina, parang hindi natin inasahan, although it's not surprising, I would say no. Sige, puntahan na natin siya. Ito na. I will put the link nitong site ito in the description box. So, ito na guys. Home care worker immigration pilots coming March 31. O Miss G, ano ang biggest, dito? Main points, yan, dito sa initial guidelines released.
So let's summarize yung latest update sa inaabangang new home care worker immigration pilot. So kaya sabi ko nga kanina, no, may nadagdag sa instructions pero wala pong nabawas based on my observation. So feel free to comment na lang if there is anything important to be addressed na hindi natin madidiscuss sa topic na to. So number 1, IRCC will start accepting applications beginning March 31. So hindi na bago yan. So it is 33 days from now. Malapit na.
Okay.
So, ang number 2, there are 2 categories. Ito yung nadagdag. Number 1 is workers in Canada and yung applicants not working in Canada.
Okay.
So, sabi ng IRCC, the initial focus is yun munang workers in Canada application.
Yan.
Sila po muna yung pwedeng magsabit ng application on March 31.
Okay, let's clarify. Alam natin, Miss G, ang dami nag-aabang yan mula sa Pilipinas. Ng mga nasa Pilipinas. Okay, so hold po muna kayo. Hindi pa po kayo makaka-apply sa March 31, but it won't hurt to prepare na rin because we'll never know when the opening will be for the applicants outside Canada. Bakit kaya ganito, Miss G, na inuna yung in Canada? What do you think?
Siguro nakikita rin ng immigration yung maraming cries from CRIES from a lot of caregivers na nasa loob ng Canada who are waiting for opportunities na makapagsubmit ng PR application. And then IRCC is listening to those cries for help. So yun lang ang nakikita kong reason bakit uunahin nila ang inside Canada workers.
I would tend to agree din, Actually, madali kasi nandito na nga naman na sila, guys. So might as well unahin na sila. Again, guys, the key in most, pinakamalaking incentive to take this pilot program is that it is permanent resident upon arrival. Well, in this case, magiging permanent resident na po yung mga nandito na mag-a-apply at matanggap, kumbaga, sa program. Alright, sige, let's move on. Ito na, Miss G.
So, siguro himayin natin, sino-sino ba yung workers in Canada? So, ito yung maraming tawag na na-receive ko today. They don't know if they're eligible to apply. So, ito yung mga workers with the legal status, people with the legal status in Canada, like those, yung mga may valid work permit. Supported by an LMIA or possibly na-gain through International Mobility Program. So in short, yun yung mga naka-close work permit.
Okay.
Possible then, ito yung mga naka-spousal open work permit obtained through their spouses na naka-study or work permit.
Okay.
pwede rin na ito yung mga dependent children who obtained an open work permit under the temporary policy na nag-close noong January 2025. Oo.
Alright.
So pwede rin na ito yung mga naka-vulnerable open work permit, no? Who gained a Canadian caregiver work experience or yung may mga training nga related to caregiving. Yeah.
Okay. How about international students na nag-aaral ng anything related to caregiving, PSW, etc.? Ongoing pa pong nag-aaral, or can they apply?
Oo. So yun nga ang sabi nga is kailangan you do not need to have a Canadian caregiver experience to qualify. Sabi you will only need to have a recent and relevant work experience or have completed a credential of at least 6 months related to home care training. So the term completed, kailangan po natapos yung program to qualify for this.
Natapos. Okay. Kasi I think, I have one question for you by the way later. No? May tanong siya na kasi ang course yata niya 1 year or basta mahigit 6 months yung full course. Patapos na siya. So there's a confusion. Paano kunyari naka more than 6 months na dun sa course? Pwede ba daw siya dun?
Sabi nga ni IRCC, have completed a credential. So kung ongoing pa lang ang education, it is not, falling under the eligibility na kailangan complete a credential ng at least 6 months.
Oh, sige. Ma'am, meron akong nakita pala dito when I was browsing through this one. So merong mga tanong dito, no? Meron dito, if you're a home care worker without status in Canada. Ito yan ha. Okay, nakikita nyo guys. I will click this one. Sabi, you may still be eligible for the home care worker immigration pilots under a public policy. A limited number of spots would be available. Ano ibig sabihin ng without status in Canada na home care worker?
Oo. Actually, nag-iintay pa tayo ng clarification from IRCC. So, sino ba yung nire-refer nila dito na working without status in Canada? So, let us wait for that.
Alright. Kasi, it would give some the impression na baka undocumented kasi without status. So, as Ms. G said, hintayin na lang po natin kung magkakaroon pa ng mas detalyadong guideline about this one. Okay?
It is difficult kasi to assume, especially maraming, nagre-relate o talagang ginagamit yung information from social media. No, I always say I want to be an instrument na magbibigay talaga ng clear information, correct information din sa audience natin. So kaya sabi ko, best advice, hintayin natin kung ano ang ilalabas ng IRCC clarifying this, kung working without status, sino-sino ba sila?
Okay. O, sige. O, let's move on, ma'am. O, na-identify na natin, guys, kung sino, anong type of status, kumbaga, ang pasok na pwedeng mag-apply. Okay, what's next? What do they have to know next for them to qualify?
Oo. So, yun nga, kailangan may WES na sila, no? And WES, education credential assessment like assessed by WES, ICAS, and others. So, kailangan i-ready na nga rin nila yung kanilang language test report. And kailangan hindi bababa sa CLB-4 ang kanilang score. So, we are referring to listening, speaking, reading, and writing.
Okay.
So clear tayo dun sa caregiver work experience or yung training, completed credential of at least 6 months. Kailangan meron tayo nun. And dun naman sa job offer. No? So nagbigay ng clarification doon ng IRCC. Employer can be from a private households or organizations. Banggit natin kanina, home healthcare service providers, direct care agencies, personal care services. Pero hindi po kasama doon as eligible employer yung mga recruitment or placement agencies.
Okay, can you give us an example, ma'am? What do you mean, not included yung recruitment or placement agencies?
Oo. For example, if there are agencies na i-hire kayo through them, no, and then they have to send you to like for example to an employer in a home care or in a home-based facilities, no. So yun po yung may I mention some agency names para siguro mas sa mga aplikante.
Oh, sige, it's up to you, ma'am. Sige, go ahead. It's okay.
So yung for example, Randstad, Adecco, no, Drake International, or yung mga recruitment agencies sa Pilipinas, di ba hinahire nila kayo, and then your salary is processed through the placement agencies, pero nagwo-work kayo para dun sa kliyente nila.
Okay.
Oo, so yun yung tinatawag na recruitment or placement agencies.
Ayan. Ito pala yan. Ano ba yan? Hindi ko na taas agad eh. Ito pala yung bullet. Ito ha. Uulitin ko. Minimum level dapat 4 sa inyong English exam. Yes. Equivalent of a Canadian high school diploma ang inyong tinapos. So, kailangan magpa-assess kayo. Right, ma'am? Oo.
Yes, yes.
And then yun, at least 6 months of recent and relevant work experience or a related caregiver training credential. Guys, isa-stress ko lang po, no? Tungkol po dyan sa recent and related experience. Ayon po dito sa rules na naka-upload, ito pong number 3, hindi po kailangan na ang inyong experience sa pagiging caregiver ay nangyari sa loob ng Canada. Look at number 3, no in Canada work experience needed. Ibig sabihin, halimbawa kayo po ay naka-work permit dito sa Canada, iba po ang trabaho ninyo, pero meron po kayong recent experience sa pagiging caregiver outside Canada, let's say last year or what, pasok po kayo dyan sa number 3. Yun lang naman, okay, back to episode. And of course, itong last, yun na nga yung sinabi ni ma'am, no? Have an offer for a full-time home care job na hindi po pwede na nilagay kayo ng recruitment or placement agency. Ayan, andito yan guys. So, yung mga pwedeng, paano sa private households, ma'am? Although, I don't know if, what kind of proof will they show? If they say, oh, I'm serving as a caregiver for my tita, my aunt, my uncle, ganyan.
Yeah. So alam mo naman dito sa Canada, no, when we say a declared job, so yun yung nagpapasweldo talaga, and then at this time, so it is taxation time, nag-i-issue ang employer ng T4 para makapag-file kayo ng tax. So that is one of the requirements na pwedeng i-prove nyo ang inyong work experience through the presentation of T4. So marami walang pay slips, no, kasi nga private households lang. So pwede tayo mag-present niya ng bank statements showing na may pumapasok talaga na pay or payroll dun sa bank account nyo.
Okay. What other documents, ma'am? Is there anything that you need to make sure that you have documents?
Siyempre yung employment letter from the employer. That will also prove na yun nga na mayroon kayong work experience or job offer from an eligible employer. I don't know if you see yung one of the videos. It's just a short videos that I made. So sabi ko, hindi porket may kapatid o may anak ang kapatid nyo or may kapatid kayo dito na may anak, pwede na kayong mag-work. No? Talagang i-scrutinize ng IRCC kung sino talaga yung eligible employers. And then if you declare na talagang nag-work kayo, meron kayong 6 months work experience for a particular employer, you really need to present a clear document proving na nag-work talaga kayo. So binanggit na natin yun, no? Employment letters, T4s. Oo.
Ang isa pa pala dito, ma'am, ano? LAMIA processing, they will not need it anymore. LAMIA, Labor Market Impact Assessment, is not required.
Yes. Yeah.
So this makes it, the process faster kung sakali, ma'am. Tama po ba?
We are hoping for that. There are lots of delays dun sa last program. I want to refer again just the history of the past program, but it was affected by the pandemic, no? And we are hoping na mas mabilis ang process this time. And again, no need for LMIA because it is a permanent residency.
Oo nga pala. Oo nga, makes sense. Ano ba yan? Okay. Tapos, if there are other questions here, links na pwede nyong i-click if applicable sa inyo yung situation. Halimbawa, ito, yung number 1, marami po niyan dito, yung binabanggit lang na Miss G. If you previously applied doon sa mga naunang caregiving programs, yung tinatawag na Home Child Care Provider Pilot or Home Support Worker Pilot. Ang nakasulat po dito, basically, ipaprocess pa rin po nila yung initial application, yung mga applications received before June 17, 2024. Yun Tapos ito yung isa, kung hindi pa po kayo nakaka-apply, pero siguro nakapasok na kayo from the previous pilots, you may be eligible to apply. Kung hindi pa po kayo pala nakaka-apply for PR, just to be clear, pero nakapasok po kayo through the previous programs, you may be eligible to apply dito po sa incoming pilot programs. Ayun,
Yes.
Eto ma'am, just to clarify, baka sabihin 6 months of recent and relevant work experience. What could this be? Kailangan ba strictly related to caregiver ang experience?
Yes, related and recent. When we say recent, that is within the last 3 years.
Okay.
And relevant. I always say we need to, kaya nga yung nagpapalicense, just want to share those, for being a licensed immigration consultant, I realize bakit ang taas ng requirement for the language para magpa-license. So when I became an immigration consultant, I realized kailangan talaga mataas ang reading comprehension mo. Yan ang example. Recent and relevant work experience. Hindi sinabi na recent or relevant. Kailangan magkasama yon. No? So, relevant work experience related to caregiving. Yes.
Ayan.
Sagot doon. Sorry for adding something there.
No problem. Okay, ma'am. Ayan. I guess that's it. Did we cover everything, ma'am?
Yeah, I believe, we cover everything. So, siguro for those not working in Canada, I have a lot of applicants, and we have to wait for further announcement kung kailan po pwedeng mag-apply yung mga nasa labas ng Canada. But my best advice is stay informed. Make your requirements ready. So when it is your turn, submit na po kayo ng application.
Ayan. Nakasulat din dito nga talaga, mag-update pa daw yung website with the full eligibility criteria before the pilots open, which again, will happen sa March 31. Okay? Alam mo, ang isang tanong dito siguro, Miss G, hindi kaya, magbubukas pa kaya talaga yung pang outside Canada applicants? Kasi as we know, limited, nakot po yung anak ko, huwag nyo nang pansinin. Kasi limited lang yung slots Guys, by the way, wala pang ina-announce yung Canada kung ilan ang tatanggapin na makukuha through the upcoming caregiver pathways. In 2024, it was more than 5,000. Hindi natin alam if that will be maintained or baka bawasan tulad ng ginagawa po sa ibang mga immigration pathways. Kunyari na lang, mag-maintain yung 5,000, ma'am. I mean, there's also a possibility that might already be well covered by the number of applicants for those inside Canada. Paano kaya yun?
So, hindi naman sinasara ng immigration or ng IRCC based on today's instructions na possible na mag-open for outside Canada. So, we are still very hopeful. No? So nagsama na yun sa mga instructions in the past, and we are hoping na until we receive an instruction na sorry, we are closing the doors for those from outside Canada, then we'll say, okay, hindi na pwede. But as of now, it is still open for people from outside Canada. So wait lang po tayo.
Oo. Actually, naka-mention yan dito, yung mismo sinasabi ni Ms. G. The stream for applicants not working inside Canada, in Canada, will open at a later date. So, sa ngayon, sinasabi nila talagang magkakaroon yan kahit siguro ilang bilang pa ang mag-apply for now dito sa initial guidelines. Now, nako, thank you Ms. G because I told Ms. G meron pong mga ilang tanong na agad na pumasok sa akin bago ko pa siya i-schedule. At she will willingly, sasagutin niya yung ilang mga questions na nag-PM sa akin privately, no? Alam siguro nila na magkakaroon agad tayo ng episode tungkol dyan. But sige. Ms. Gia, I hope you don't mind. Let me read.
Of course.
I think some were already answered, but sige, ano pa rin. Basahin ko pa rin. Ito. Pwede po ba mag-apply dito ang IS, International Student, taking up PSW program na employed sa home healthcare as PSW pero part-time dahil nga po international student. But, pwede na siya mag-full-time once the program is done sa April.
Oo. So, sabi nga natin kanina, kailangan completed credential related to caregiving. So, my answer is no. If they are still studying and ongoing pa ang schooling, so hindi pa sila magpo-fall under dun sa completed education credential. And the work experience obtained while you are studying, that cannot be counted as a work experience here in Canada, unfortunately.
Okay, so that's clear. Next question, pwede daw po ba dito mag-apply ang mga working sa long-term care facilities?
I would say yes. My short answer is yes. Pero kailangan natin himayin ang job description niyan.
Okay.
Ang iniintay ko pa rin talaga from IRCC is mag-release sila ano yung mga NOC na possible na pumasok for this program. Kasi napakarami ring inquiries na yun nga, like Parib said, yung mga PSW, and then tinatanong nila, pasok ba sila sa program ito? So, i-wait natin yan. I do have existing applicants na nag-work sa mga ganyang facilities, and I told them, okay, we need to speak to your employer and talagang himayin natin ang job description to make sure na mag-a-align dun sa eligibility in terms of work experience.
Naku, ang isang issue yata dito sa nagtatanong nito, ma'am, is student pa rin yata siya working sa long-term care facilities. If student working in a long-term care facility right now, mukhang hindi pa po pwede kasi, ano ba? Kasi student pa siya, hindi pa. Okay. Ito pa, may isa pa. Pwede ba maging employer kung si employer, okay, pwede ba maging employer kahit naka-temporary work permit yung possible employer mismo? To be specific, Hong Kong citizen daw yung employer. At mataas daw kasi yung sahod nung employer na ito, may 3 anak, at naghahanap din daw ng options na gusto talaga siyang i-keep bilang caregiver ng kanyang mga anak. Willing daw po yata, no, kumuha kahit ng business number bilang private employer.
Ang eligible employer refers to permanent residents and Canadian citizens. So ang sagot ko dyan hindi, kasi hindi sila citizen and permanent residents of Canada. Hindi sila eligible employer.
Okay. Ano pa ba? Ito. Yung sa number 3 daw na guidelines referring to have completed a credential of at least 6 months of related home care training. Pwede po ba dito ang 1-year PSW program?
Yes. Oo. Minimum nga 6 months lang. So mag-exceed ng 6 months and that is 1 year. Yes, pasok na pasok.
Okay, another question. Do we need to get an ECA for this pathway if meron ng diploma naman daw from a DLI, Designated Learning Institution, dito sa Canada?
Oo. My take there is, nang nag-apply ka ba para dun sa program na yan, isa ba sa mga requirements is kailangan nakatapos ka ng at least a post-secondary education No?
Mhm.
So I would say hindi na. But to be safer, I always suggest pa rin magpa-ECA pa rin. You know, it won't harm you getting an education credential assessment. Oo.
Oh. Paano kung hindi nag-require pag hindi nag-require ng kailangan high school diploma or etc., I think the safer bet talaga is mag-ECA. Ganun ba yun?
Mag-ECA na. Oo. Yeah. To be safe, it's easy naman to get the education credential assessment than submitting an incomplete requirements. Paano kung mabutasan tayo din ng visa officer na wala tayong ECA? Though you graduated for, sabi mo nga, 1-year program, no? Half of my heart is saying, no, you don't need an ECA, it's not mandatory. But if you are to consult me, and if you have to retain me as your consultant, I will push na magpa-ECA ka pa rin.
All right. Okay, that's all. That's all the questions na pumasok sa akin. Ano? Thank you, Miss G, for accommodating and answering those questions. Okay, I think we covered everything, Miss G. Pero hindi ito dahil guys, unti-unti nang lumalabas sa mga detalye tungkol sa caregiver program. We will have more episodes with Miss G about this. Ang kanyang contact information po ay nandyan sa description box. Also, ito alam ko, Miss G, one very important, I think, issue that needs to be talked about this caregiver pathway is yung limited slots available. I mean, realistically speaking, 5,000, would be a good number already kung yun ang papayagan ng Canada. I think it's very important also to raise awareness na sa reality na maraming made-decline, di ba? Kasi I think hundreds of thousands will definitely apply from all over the world.
Yes.
Hindi po ba? So, yeah, we will talk about that in a different episode perhaps. Okay, how you can boost your chances. If kukuha kayo lalo na consultant, how do you determine kung capable sila to compete? Dahil sinasabi na kapag nag-open daw po yan, Ms. G, baka isang oras, sarado na yung mga ganong concerns. No, I think that will be good for a different, separate episode. Yeah. Okay. So that's it, guys. We will end this episode here. Miss G, thank you so much. If you guys have questions for Miss G, put them down there in the comment section. We will answer them sa next po na guesting po natin sa kanya. All right, Miss G, thanks so much.
Yeah,
you guys.
Thanks, Miss Ina.
Yeah, and thank you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.